Alec, welcome back to SUPERtheticals by Chuck
Yes.
Klosterman. 50 new questions for strange conversations.
Epic. We
You
love
ready?
it. We love these. I'm very ready. I'm ready to get going on these superthetical questions.
Can I tell you something? I think I'm ready for this. The last time, I was like really in a weird spot. Last time we did these,
Yeah.
just gone through a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I was shooketh.
And they got kind of deep too.
And I didn't even know
they've
what.
been deep.
I didn't even know. I was questioning everything in life at that point. I don't know how I could appropriately answer any questions at that point.
Yeah, but you did a really good job, honestly.
All right.
That seems like, that's an interesting opinion.
I mean, I'm more removed from it now. The
Yeah.
trauma still shakes me to my core. But-
I'm not gonna lie. That's reasonable.
It's
I
great.
think,
It's great. Well, here we are.
It's great. No, it's not great. It's horrible. I feel for you, man.
Yeah. But today we're gonna talk about some fun conversations, and I feel like I'm mentally in a better spot
That's good.
than where I was, but we'll see how I am at the end of it.
We'll see.
All right, so this first one, if you haven't watched it before, you should go watch the other two. We did 2 more episodes of this. They're basically hypothetical scenarios. They'll ask you to imagine either a real person you know or an imaginary person that possesses certain qualities, and then you go into this situation with that in mind, and then you kind of talk it out. That's what we do.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a specific person you can imagine.
Okay.
This person was a member of the Beatles. If you don't know anything about the Beatles, select a character from the TV show Friends or Game of Thrones.
Oh. What? I mean, okay, I know the Beatles, so.
If you've never watched an episode of either of those programs, select a current member of the U.S. Supreme Court. Imagine that the person you select is alive and the same age as you are now.
Okay, well.
Okay, so I can't say I know nothing about the Beatles. I mean, I can imagine one. I don't know on a personal level.
No, but you just generally know about them or who they are, generally.
I mean, I could be better suited for a Game of Thrones character, but...
I mean, can you name all 4 members of the Beatles?
You got John, you got Paul, you got Ringo, and you got the other one.
His only big
George.
single. There you go.
While my guitar gently weeps. All right.
I mean, George's solo career was not as legendary as the other 2, and then who knows what Ringo's doing? Who knows what Ringo's doing? But Ringo's the one I'm picking.
Yeah, is the baseline knowledge of the Beatles enough for me to take this? Because I knew something about the Beatles. Doesn't not know anything.
Okay, well, I got a picture. I got a picture of Ringo Starr as a 29-year-old.
I'll just do something different then, just to make it different.
Okay.
I'll do a character from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I'll picture Arya Stark, and so they're the same. They're alive and the same age you are now.
Okay.
Okay. 24-year-old Arya Stark's not too far off from where she was.
No.
All right. Assume this person has been seamlessly dropped into your life. You see this person constantly and move in the same social circles. Consider their personality type and the various quirks and foibles that define their identity.
The quirks and foibles of Ringo Starr.
Who among your current friends would they like the most, and who would they like the least? How much would it bother you if over time it became clear that they preferred one of your friends' company to yours? That's very weird.
That's an amazing question. I love this.
Who among my current friends would Arya Stark like the most?
Who would Ringo Starr like the most?
Look, I know Arya Stark. I know her well, but I don't know her in this environment.
Well, think of the just general characteristics of some of the people that you associate with. I'm trying to think of like wannabe artists or like people with like chip on their shoulder maybe a little bit.
What?
And they promote their MS Paint artwork as high art.
I can't think of who they would like the least. I feel like that would just be rude, because Arya is generally just like, she's the badass that everyone roots for. So if you're not on good terms with Arya, then it's not a good thing.
I suppose that's fair. What was the subsequent hypothetical? Is it like, imagine, like, how long would it take you to realize that they prefer the company of one of your friends?
How much would it bother you if over time it became clear that they preferred one of your friends' companies to yours?
I would probably prefer it, to be perfectly honest.
Really? If Ringo Starr?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about John was a little like, he was a little like too like in your face with being like socially involved about things and being kind of like, and by the way, I am not saying this as a negative about what he was he or his wife were for.
Have you ever even thought about
I'm just saying, like,
a lot, John?
A lot of times like those people tend to like, interacting specifically with them tend to be off-putting to me. But we're talking about Ringo here. Probably not very much, because I kind of, despite the fact that I think most of the members are on record as saying like Ringo is like probably the most talented musician out of all of them.
Really?
What did Ringo do? I think it was Ringo. Maybe it was George. I was like lump them two.
Ringo's the drums.
I know Ringo's the drums, but Ringo could play anything.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was on record, like where Paul was like, yeah, he could play whatever better than all of us, like piano, guitar. I could be getting my Beatles facts wrong, because much like you, I don't know everything there is to know about the Beatles. I like the Beatles, but I'm not like a Beatle maniac. What do they call them? Beetle heads. Yeah.
I'm not a beetle bug.
Yeah, they're not Beetlejuices. I'm not a beetle. Yeah, probably not all that much, to be honest. I think Ringo is always to me and kind of like, all I can really associate Ringo with these days is just the RingoStarArt.com, which is just a gold mine of. I literally cried tears of laughter on an old podcast when we discovered it for the first time. Mm-hmm. For like 10 minutes straight, we were all dying. We were in hysterics. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, people like that who are that's kind of a hack fraud sort of thing, and I don't really like people that are like that. Like people that have a bit more of a sense of humor about themselves, and I don't get that from Ringo Starr.
Right, not self-aware enough. You don't think?
Yeah.
Poke fun at himself.
Yeah. So there probably be some people that I associate with, some friends of mine. I don't know which one they would, in particular, they would be like. Probably one of my artist friends. That'd be my guess, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe. I hate to throw this group under the bus, but maybe my friend Wesley or my friend Kaylee, maybe one of them.
Did we get along with them the most?
Wesley being a musician, and Kaylee being an actual artist. Maybe if they're watching this, they'd probably be very offended. I don't know their feelings on Ringo Starr other than that his art is kind of a meme, but I don't know. He probably would probably enjoy their company more. Either that or just some person I knew in college that's kind of a douche. So I don't know. So yeah, and it wouldn't really bother me all that much, to be honest. I'd be kind of happy to be rid of him. So that question wasn't all that interesting. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I should have picked Paul McCartney. I have a lot more positive things to say about Paul. That would actually bother me. Paul McCartney would probably bother me.
Yeah.
That'd like legitimately bother me, because like.
I mean, it would bother me if Arya Stark became closer with my other friend, liked them more, because she's a badass. But that's why I think my friend Lisa would probably get along with her, because strong, independent woman, Arya Stark.
You'd relate to each other.
It would work, yeah. It would
bond, yeah.
They'd appreciate each other. I don't know about who would get along with them the least, or who would Arya Stark like the least.
Like the least?
Yeah.
Who would Ringo like the least? Probably
It would just be insulting for me to say that. 'Cause it just means you're boring if Arya Stark didn't like you. Or if you're like a bad person, she doesn't like bad people, you know? People that cross her, you know. So they're none of my friends, right?
Maybe my friend Josh, because my friend Josh literally takes the piss out of anything and everything, and I don't think Ringo would like that.
Do you think Ringo just does not have any sense of humor?
That's all I can say. I'm just showing an interpretation of Ringo Starr right now, and I don't. That's what.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one.
Yeah, this hasn't been my favorite one. I like what it's going for, but like you kind of need to be more of a Beatlemaniac in order for it to really work, I think.
Or
and I'm sorry, but
Friends fan, Game of Thrones fan, or U.S. Supreme Court?
U.S. Supreme Court fan.
Hard to find. Very hard to find.
I picked Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, because I don't know the Beatles, I don't know Game of Thrones or Friends, so, but I know the Supreme Court. I know them well. All right, that's fine. We'll lay that one to rest.
I think my brother met Clarence Thomas, but they attended the same. I think it was a funeral service. They attended the same one.
That's awesome. Sounds fun. He was a hypothetical person.
I've met Justice Breyer before.
That's great.
Yeah, he's great. He's very nice.
I'm sure he's cool. Imagine.
Yeah. Damn, you got no chill over here.
Imagine a hypothetical person.
Okay.
This person is quiet and solitary. Nothing about their personality is remarkable or memorable. They are smaller and slightly older than you. Wow. What a loser. Okay.
Wait. Say it all again. I'm really trying to get
They're
it.
quiet and solitary. Nothing about their personality is remarkable or memorable.
Okay, so they're just a wallflower.
They're smaller and slightly older than you.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm looking at like a 27-year-old loser that doesn't have anything going for him.
Like a 33-year-old wallflower.
All right. It's like, now will you sacrifice this person? Because they're so useless.
Yes, probably.
All right. This person's your coworker.
Okay.
Your desks are adjacent, but your office relationship is cordial and distant. They never complain. Whenever anyone asks them out to lunch or drinks, they decline. The job is stressful, but they are competent. There is, however, one aspect to their personality that's a bit odd. On a handful of occasions, you've heard them become angry on the telephone, usually with a client, but sometimes with a coworker. Every time this happens, they calmly make the same threat. I'm going to kill you. This has happened at least 3 times, but the rest of their behavior is normal, even boring.
Oh, jeez.
You mention this behavior to another coworker. That coworker provides an unexpected morsel of office gossip. 10 years ago, the imagined person was arrested and charged with murder. A trial was held and they were found not guilty. 5 years later, it happened again. They were arrested and charged with another murder, but were again found not guilty.
I love this.
Do you assume this person is a murderer, or do you assume this person's habit of threatening to kill people is the reason they keep getting wrongly accused?
No, I think I'm going to assume that they're a murderer.
You don't get wrongly accused for saying I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, and also, like, see, if it happens maybe once, like, if they get acquitted once, it's like, well, or actually not acquitted, he was found not guilty, so he actually was tried. But if that's happened not just once, but twice, and he has a habit of saying, I'm going to kill you, no, I'm going to assume that that didn't just enter his parlance from nothing.
Yeah, I would assume this. Look, I don't assume anything about anybody. Like, I don't make assumptions. All right.
Yeah,
but I guess I'll assume this person is a murderer.
I mean, it's like, how could you not assume that they're? It's just very odd especially when they're apparently detached somewhat. You know, that they don't really like. You know, it's always the quiet. It's the quiet ones you have to watch out for, or whatever. Yeah. And I don't know how I feel. It's just very odd because it's like, oh, yeah, okay, and then he gets mad at clients. How did this person get hired at this supposed company?
They're competent.
I'm a part.
They're competent. We know that.
They're competent. They're competent. They just get mad at clients and threaten people that they're going to kill them.
Yeah, I think that's the case Case closed on that.
I mean, it is possible you could maybe just be misinterpreting. Maybe he's like, "I'll kill you if you don't take this deal." Like.
Look, I'm always willing to give...
he's getting angry. So I guess that is kind of, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm always willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, but so I won't make any assumptions until he kills me. Okay.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. I would want to look in, because this is a piece of office gossip. I'm gonna look into this maybe a little more, because if he's been tried several times, there's going to be that's going to be in the public record somewhere. So I'll do my research. I'll look back on this, and if that's just office gossip, like I think my primary assumption maybe won't be this guy's a murderer. It's going to be, well, this guy could legitimately be a murderer. So that's when I would want to do my research.
Yeah.
And if I don't find anything,
for the safety of your coworkers, you have an obligation.
But if he does actually legitimately has been tried twice. If I find two cases, yeah, I'm going to assume that he's a murderer.
Yeah.
But I hope he doesn't strike again.
I get
he better hope he doesn't strike again, because it's that repeat killings is what gives you away.
Yeah, you know? I bet they're being cute about it, saying, do you assume this person's habit, or do you assume this person's habit of threatening to kill people is the reason they keep getting wrongly accused? That's definitely not. Wouldn't be the other option for me. It's either you assume a person's a murderer or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's not.
Because here's the thing about the aside there. It's like, you're not gonna go be found not guilty. You're not gonna go through a whole trial based on only the words "I'm going to kill you," and then someone close to him dies. Yeah. Like, well, twice.
It's tough.
5 years apart. Yeah, that can't be right.
But always in the back of my mind, I try to never make the full assumption, because it could just be that unlucky and it sucks.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's quiet. He's just a poor little wallflower.
Yeah, no, he's not very remarkable. That's for sure. He's got nothing redeemable about himself.
Other than that, he's a murderer. Apparently.
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, hear me?
I'm gonna kill you.
I didn't do it before, I'll do it now. Specific person. This person is whoever is reading this question. Got him.
So it's you.
Pranked.
You.
Oh boy. You're dead. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. There's an afterlife. You spend the first 500 years in existential solitude, relaxing and experiencing pleasure. You pay no attention to the world you left behind. But eventually you look back down at Earth and see that this person is being worshipped as a deity. There are statues of them everywhere, and the world's most popular religion is built around their identity. What do you think happened over the past 5 centuries?
So this is about you?
It's about me, I guess.
I have to do this about you? Rather than me about me.
Hopefully there's not a bunch of questions like this, or it's the person reading it, but...
Yeah. Huh. Well, it's supposed to be a conversation starter, so, I mean, you would have to assume that the person who's talking about it has to be like...
Well, you might think that there's a bunch of people it's rotating between, but I read all of them, that's what I'm saying. It'll always be me then. Yeah.
Well, if there is one of those, we can swap it back to me. We'll pretend it's me instead.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, what would happen over 500 years? I mean, I would have to guess that, like, your death must have been kickstarted some sort of movement or revolution or something.
Mm-hmm, great.
You know, it something was discovered of value. Maybe your YouTube channel was finally like raised up to
finally get the recognition I deserve.
That's
right. So way more recognition.
Being worshipped.
The world's most popular religion is built around my identity.
The most popular religion.
It just trumps Christianity. The next 5 centuries is.
Yeah, Christianity's that's old news now. It's all about. What I'm trying to think of like saccharinity.
So do you think I died a heroic death, and then you?
It must have been.
Let's say that you have a pivotal role in this, and you spread the good word.
I'm not going to start a religion.
You spread the religion.
I'm already religious. That would be a problem.
Yeah, but I've enlightened you with whatever happened.
I would have a problem with it. I'm sorry.
You would be against. It would be a headline. It would be a headline that's like,
yeah, co-host
co-host
is against
is openly opposes
new religion.
Glorification of co-hosts.
You're like, while I love Zach and he's a wonderful person, you should not form a religion around him.
This has gone too far. Former co-host assassinated for speaking out against religion.
Then I get and then I'm like, I become like the
you're the opposing religion. Then
the opposing or the no, it's more like religion. I'm the opposing force. So like to God. Satan, I am the Satan of your religion now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
but we don't. It's still kind of vague how we got there. What happened over the past 5 centuries?
Something had to have happened to spark it. What would have? I don't know what would have caused it to like continue to like people to really get on board. That's what I don't really get. I don't really understand that. How does that happen? What would happen?
It's 500 years of progress, so
yeah,
it's hard to even fathom.
Yeah.
Good news. There's an afterlife, though, confirmed. So
maybe there's a pandemic that hits. Maybe you were like the first victim of a new pandemic, and you heroically sacrificed yourself to like save lives, and like tons and tons of people died, but it ended up being you. You were like the key to all of it, the key to the whole case. So tons of life was wiped out on Earth, but you lived long enough to see a new dawn, and so
you're saying a future pandemic? I lived through it.
You live through it potentially, and then also maybe you die sacrificing yourself for a cure or something.
That's crazy.
I Am Legend style. That movie sucks, by the way. But I should say the ending the ending of the movie sucks. But yeah, you die heroically for a
martyr.
Yeah,
basically. A martyr for...
So because so much of humanity is wiped out, they need to hoist up a new religion. The major world religions still remain: Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, and Hinduism. Those all still remain, but the most popular religion is the one that forms Judaism. Yeah, well, Judeo-Christianity. Yeah, Judaism. The major world religions all remain, but your cure thus sparks a new popularity in a populist religion.
That's crazy, though, that my religion is more popular than all of those.
That doesn't make sense at all.
It's really earth-shattering, because then it's not just like, oh, we like this guy and what he did. It's I've found, like, it's brought me to discover something
about, because like the reason those religions have lasted for so long is because of like how ingrained in human existence the tradition and everything that a lot of them embody. It's thousands of years of tradition in all of those. Mm-hmm. So that's a little weird.
It's like it's such something that comes from this is just so profound that like so many people cannot help but be converted to this religion. It's like, wow, we were looking at everything wrong, but reality is slanted. That's crazy.
That's a wild question.
And as a non-religious person myself, that's pretty wild. It's ironic.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah. What would you be? Yeah. What would you just kind of be like in the afterlife? You just like see that and you'd be like, would you be like, I have a problem with this, or it's like, well, it's not really my problem anymore.
It's pretty cool.
So,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's pretty dope.
But I mean, knowing that I am who I am now, I would know that it's all nonsense because I don't deserve to have a religion built around me. But
yeah,
so just like, what a bunch of clowns. I love my fans though.
And I don't deserve to have a religion opposed to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, well.
I'm not a whole religion devoted to that. I do that enough for myself.
This one's a hypothetical person. This person looks a lot like the contemporary celebrity you find most attractive. Keep in mind that this person is not the actual celebrity. They simply resemble them to a degree that is impossible to deny.
The most attractive? That's really hard to define. I have celebrity crushes, like so many of them.
Yeah. I'm going to say Gal Gadot.
Okay.
Let's go Gal Gadot look alike.
It feels recent, but like honestly, I've had a crush on her for a long time, and that's Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could be Victoria Pedretti as well.
It could be, yeah. She's also beautiful. But
alright, so I don't know why this. Are they going to try
They look really similar.
I know, but what are they going to try to dupe us with?
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Like, are you so attracted to this person you'll be an idiot?
Only because, or maybe it's you're so attracted to them, but then they raise it's only because they look like X.
It's like this person is racist and they said horrible things. Do you still
date them? Well, read it. We gotta find out.
You're driving on a road near your home. The vehicle in front of you crosses into the wrong lane and stops abruptly, causing you to crash into them from behind. You're not hurt and both vehicles are drivable, but the damage is significant. The driver of the other car is the imagined person.
Okay.
They immediately jump out of the car and rush back to see if you're okay. They're extraordinarily nice and admit that the accident was their fault. They take full responsibility but beg you not to call the police because they are driving with a suspended license. However, the person insists they will take care of everything one way or the other. You are well aware that by leaving the scene of the accident without calling the police, you will surrender any legal leverage you currently have. What do you do? I do whatever she says. Do you want my car, ma'am? You can have my car.
Oh god, man, it makes it sound like such simps, but honestly,
simp culture.
Honestly, I would find it extremely hard to do the right thing, quote unquote, in this scenario. Do I trust? Yeah, this is a person I just met. They could be lying, completely lying. She might seem really nice, but she might be just trying to get out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the beauty would sway me. I feel like I've dealt with enough rejection in my entire existence.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because what is it? Okay, so she says she deals with anything. What? Am I gonna get with this person? Like, am I gonna date them?
No.
Because I crashed in their car? Maybe that's the spark. But
Yeah,
I highly doubt it.
I really doubt
I highly doubt that. All of this would be running through my mind, like
no, it would not.
At once, yeah, no. This would all like run through my mind like immediately. This is like a feeling that I'm describing.
So the simp is just so is rooted in your DNA.
I feel like it is.
I feel like it's not. I think I have enough self-control for.
Yeah, I feel like
you're basically saying like it's an attractive woman. Like yeah, it might be the most attractive woman, but I don't think that changes just the fact that it's an attractive woman. And do you give them special treatment in this situation?
No.
What it's asking.
I mean, it's like any. Yeah, I mean, like I think about it. I deal with people at work all the time.
I'm a people person.
No, people person. I mean, I have to deal with people for my job. So like there are people who I legitimately find very attractive. But like that doesn't change how I do my job.
You're constantly
I'm just constantly
handing out discounts and cutting corners.
Doing none of that. I'm doing none of cutting corners. If I cut corners in my job, I get in a lot of trouble. So, or I could.
Well, for a pretty lady like you.
Well, for a pretty lady, I'll give you all the bait stations you want, and I'll supply rat poison for years to come.
All you gotta do is just keep on smiling.
Just have a nice smile. It'd be horrible. Yeah, see, but that's what I mean. Like I definitely have like enough. I do have enough like self-awareness to be like, yes, I find you very attractive. But no, we're gonna have to call the police. Because to me, my financial situation is a lot more important than a pretty face.
Yeah, if I was rich, shoot.
Yeah, if it was like
take my car.
Yeah,
take whatever you need. Do you want my wallet?
Take my car, please. If maybe if she was like, here's my phone number, and then
no, you're just being straight up manipulated in the moment.
Yeah, she gives you a fake number.
Yeah,
she gives you a fake phone number. Here's my number. Call me.
I am a genie. You will get 3 wishes. This is a tough one. I feel like women have worked too hard for too long for us to give in to this.
Yeah, that's true. They need to be treated just like we are.
Yeah. I can't pull that kind of stuff. If I crash into someone's car.
Yeah, and if she's like, it's 100% my fault, and I'm like, good, could you say that? Could you state that to the police officer?
And then she's like, I'll kill you. Well, I'll have to check the court records.
Yeah, if she then yeah, my financial situation is definitely more important than a pretty face.
What do? You say, ma'am, I'm going to need you to stay put, or the police are on the way, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am, the police are on the way, ma'am. Will you put your sunglasses on, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to just back away. Just stay right there, where you are, okay?
Back away. How about a smile?
You could have, yeah. You look better with a smile. I mean, I'm just saying. All right. I mean, while we're waiting for the police, you remind me an awful lot of this celebrity I love.
You look an awful lot like Elizabeth Olsen. I tell you.
Yeah, that's great. That's just great.
I get that a lot. That's great. The police are on their way.
All right. Hypothetical person. This is a person created through genetic engineering. They are devoid of personality and physically average in every way. They can speak and think logically, but are otherwise intellectually blank. They have no opinions, sense of history, or sense of self.
What was the point of this genetic engineering experiment? That's the whole point, right? To, like, make a better human?
Yeah, but I think it was just too unbelievable for a human to be this bland.
To be this bland? Okay, so they're unremarkable.
Devoid of personality, physically average. They can speak and think logically, but are otherwise intellectually blank. They have no opinions, sense of history, or sense of self.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're like an android, except like even more devoid of personality.
We're gonna get to a philosophical thing on this. Let's see.
About personhood.
This person will do whatever you tell them to do and behave however you instruct them to behave. They are in almost every aspect a robot. They have no name, no agency, no legal rights, and are not protected by the law, but they are still human. They have all the needs of a regular person, feel pain and pleasure, and have the ability to learn. This person now lives in your house. You can do whatever you want with them without repercussions. What do you do? Consider the person's mental limitations if you choose to release them into society. How dare you ask me this question, sir? I give them a firm handshake and send them on their way.
What an odd question. Yeah,
How dare you?
Why you loafing around?
No, I will not put anything in their butt. How dare you ask me that?
Yeah, what a weird like you can do whatever you want to them, and it's like what?
They should have combined with this with the last one. It really gets you thinking. They're devoid of personality. They look just like Elizabeth Olsen.
They're basically a sex doll.
Now, what do you do with them? They are human, but they have no rights.
They're human, but
they have no rights. So, fair game.
I mean, like, okay.
Okay, this person lives in my house. Why? Don't ask questions.
Yeah, why are they living at my house?
Whatever you want with them without repercussions. Play cards, get Yahtzee, Mario Kart, Smash Bros. These are the wildest things I can imagine doing with someone.
Yeah, beat their ass in Smash Brothers. You would. I'd probably lose.
Consider the person's mental limitations if you choose to release them to society. So what are you telling me? We shouldn't release them to society? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I gotta take care of them for the rest of their lives too?
Yeah, that seems like a really terrible thing to say at the end.
I call up that girl that crashed in
my car, and then
they keep saying they're gonna kill us. We got her number though. Call her up. Say, hey, you want a new person? They'll do whatever you want. Even if you crash into their car, you'll have their way with them.
Maybe I would if they're intellectually sound, maybe I would have them I'd try to get them hired somewhere. Maybe instead of just releasing them out into society, I'd go work for this place.
Right.
Go.
So you can
go better yourself and perhaps grow a personality, and then
for your own personal gain, right? Monetarily, you will take some of that money.
No, I'm giving them to the company to do what they. That's not. Actually, that sounds a little gross. I don't like that.
No, you gotta keep a close eye on this one. It's like Wonder Woman. You know, you gotta keep an eye on them. People will take advantage of them. You get in the wrong hands. You know.
Like Wonder Woman? What?
You know, like how Wonder Woman, it's almost like they're ignorant to the world, so it's like they're ripe to be taken advantage of, you know? Because she comes out of her isolated world, and then it's like, if this guy wasn't a nice gentleman that she happened to be with, she would be in trouble. So that's why it's like you can't just send him out there, because who knows what will happen to him. We also don't know if it's a man or a woman. We don't know what they look like exactly. I would say make some videos with them. Get them on Tarqaron for sure.
I have to have him as a guest on Tarqaron.
Just be an inexplicable, like something's off about this person.
No, I would probably I'd think about people that I know that either are like maybe live alone or are like lonely. Maybe they could be just like a conversation piece for like an elderly person. You know, like not like a conversation piece like, do you hear what I have this friend? It was like they drag him out. No, but like somebody that they can have a
that's great. Agnes.
Someone who's like alone in like a negative sense, who's like they're alone, they don't really have anybody they can talk to. So someone they can intellectualize with and just have a conversation with, like a companion.
Nothing physical.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking
Never
of like
physical. Don't you think?
Yes, I'm thinking of like an infirm elderly person.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they can't do anything for themselves, but just like someone who's, even though I think that's what infirm means, but someone who is like lives alone that I can trust.
And they don't have a dog, so this will do.
Yeah, I don't know, like maybe, or they could have a dog. Maybe they do have a dog, and maybe they...
So this person, like this genetically engineered person, does not have a desire. Like they don't have goals. Like,
yeah, they could go live with my aunt.
You'll love it with her.
My idea, she can put them to work. She's got horses. They can go take care of the horses. They can work out in the barn. They can have conversations with my aunt when she gets home from work.
This whole thing just seems weird. This whole scenario seems weird. That we have
this whole scenario is weird.
So much power over this life.
This is bizarre.
It's like you are.
I don't like it.
You are given this life.
You're given a life.
And
yeah, sounds like having a child, except for like without a personality.
You can do whatever you want with them.
Yeah, that's
with
weird.
No repercussions. So, get wild.
Yeah, they're still persons. You'd have to still respect like that aspect of them. Well, are they really?
But they like, I want to like talk to them and see where they're at. You know, like, do you have any goals? Like, can we establish something here? Like, if they're able to talk and think logically, at least, it still seems weird to put them into indentured servitude without consulting them.
That's not really indentured servitude. That's not indentured. It's not being indentured. They don't.
It feels weird to sell them off into slavery and.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't actually. That's why I changed my mind about the company thing. That ended up being really creepy and felt gross.
It all feels gross to me.
I mean, yeah, the question's kind of creepy.
What do we do? I think we just move out. The house is yours.
No, but I want to give them a place they can live with a kind, loving person that they can.
They have mental limitations. They said so. That's why they're like, be careful if you choose to release them into society. They have no opinions, okay? So they don't have any goals.
No opinions whatsoever.
Can they establish this, or are they just forever a blank slate of a human?
Well, yeah. It sounds like they're like a homunculus or something. Yeah. Like, I mean, isn't that what a homunculus is? It's a man-made... Yeah, it's a man-made...
basically,
human.
Transmutation circles.
Full metal alchemist.
Alright. A little weird, not gonna lie, Chuck.
Yeah, it was an odd one, Chuck.
Chuck, I feel like the more we get into these SUPERtheticals, the more we're getting into what you're trying to get down to.
Yeah.
It's like, you have this person, they don't know any better, you can do whatever you want with them. What do you do?
That's so creepy sounding.
That's a good question, Chuck.
He's really trying to trip you up and make you think.
He just wants someone to say, just have your way with them.
Yeah, I would...
I would go to town. I tell you what.
Yeah.
All right. This is a specific person. This is a person you knew half a lifetime ago who is still alive and you have not been in contact with since that time.
Half a lifetime ago.
For example, if you're 30, this would be a memorable individual you knew when you were 15 but have not interacted with since you were a teenager. It's okay if the math doesn't work out perfectly.
Okay, yeah, I got somebody.
So when I was 12...
I got somebody.
When I was 12, we're talking Pete's Game Room Forum, 2009.
We're talking high school.
We're talking first year in the gaming community. Still alive and not been in contact with since that time.
Yeah, if I'm 15, then it is 2006, 2007.
It's 2009.
2006 is the Wii came out. The Wii's coming out, man.
Uncharted 2 came out.
I'm in.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is coming out.
I'm in 10th grade. The Wii's coming out.
Or who have I not interacted with since that time, though? That's tough.
I can think of somebody. Yeah. Math doesn't work perfectly because I interacted with this person up into college, but not nearly as much as I did in high school. So.
Yeah, I'll say I think this one's good. I think I want to.
Yeah.
Now, who do you kill? Yeah. You are the victim of a terrible accident. You're alive and conscious, but the situation is dire. Many broken bones, lots of bleeding, and severe damage to critical internal organs. You are airlifted to a hospital and prepped for emergency surgery. Just before you are wheeled into the operating room and given anesthesia, you recognize the surgeon. They are the imagined person, but they do not recognize you.
Okay.
The anesthesia mask is placed over your nose and mouth. You begin to lose consciousness. What are your final thoughts as you drift toward darkness?
My final thoughts before I drift to darkness are, this is amazing because I joked about this scenario a long time ago with this person. This is my friend, my old friend. I haven't talked to him in close to 10 years. He's a guy I knew in high school. His name is Nick Peterson. He actually just got married recently, apparently. But he's a nurse, coincidentally. So he's in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
And he originally, I think he was going to practice he was going to be a pharmacist. I don't know what field he went into. I don't know if he's maybe just a nurse practitioner. I don't know. I don't really know what field he went into. I don't know any of that. But I joked a long time ago because he had aspirations to enter the medical field even in high school. So I joked about how, like, I would be a patient of his and be like, "Well, hello, Dr. Peterson."
Uh-huh.
And I used to joke to him about it, be like, because he was a handsome guy, and I always joke about it. He's like, it's just like the good looking nurse, the good looking doctor gonna make me feel bad about how I look, because it's just like, wow, I'm trim and fit, and here I am. Damn, don't I look good? And I'd always joke about that in high school. So I guess my thoughts will be like, how could I have known it would come to this?
How could I have known it would come to this? I wouldn't have any remarkable thoughts, honestly. Because this is just a person that I haven't talked to. Like, we were in Cub Scouts together. We were close friends in grade school. But then they just kind of stopped talking. Most of them, the friends that I stopped talking to, it's their fault. They just kind of cut themselves off. I don't do that, but because I did try reaching out, like, even years later, just to be like, hey, what's up? And there was no response, so it's like, whatever. So now I would be indifferent to the whole thing. I'd be like, oh, this is interesting, and then pass out. So not where I thought this was going, but
that was really interesting. I really liked the twist, because I was like, the guy I was thinking of ended up being the person I joked about would practice medicine around me. Even though he lives out in, like, I don't even know where he lives now. I think he might live out in, like, Pennsylvania or something. Mm-hmm. Maryland. I don't even remember. So he moved away.
This isn't an enemy of mine. It's not like, oh, well, I'm dead. He's gonna kill me now.
No, I would trust him, even if he doesn't recognize me. It doesn't matter to me. I would trust that he would do a good job, because he was very detail oriented. So good at that. No, this is something that he would do. I remember this amazingly, because I probably poked fun at him about it a little bit, but I did honestly tell him a few times, it is honestly impressive to me how you know this. Almost every day he would write out the starting lineups of every NBA team, stats for all of them, and their benches, and who played in the games the previous night, just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this amazing knack for it. And I was like, this is very impressive. Like how you're just able to remember and absorb that information. That is remarkable. I couldn't tell you. I was like, I don't really care about the NBA. But like with baseball, I couldn't tell you that. I love baseball. I don't know any of that. I couldn't even tell you that with my own team. Well, I couldn't tell you what everyone hit last night. I don't know. Like that was incredible to me. So detail-oriented guy. Really good with numbers. So yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out. It probably would have been really uneventful if you didn't have someone related to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a hypothetical person. This person, whose age and gender mirror your own, is verbally aggressive, physically imposing, and exhibits all the superficial characteristics of someone who is affluent and educated.
All right.
Verbally aggressive, physically imposing, affluent, and educated. Oh. You are a passenger on a crowded subway train. The imagined person is standing upright, gripping a handrail. They begin talking to the passenger seated next to you, an unassuming individual who is reading a book. They attempt to initiate casual conversation with the reader. The reader looks up at them, says nothing, and returns to the book. The imagined person is clearly offended. At first, they quietly criticize the reader for being rude, but the criticisms escalate. They mock the passenger's book, clothing, and physical appearance. Next, they loudly accuse the passenger of being a pedophile. Then they threaten to assault the passenger once the train reaches its destination.
What is this escalation?
This entire interaction lasts 5 minutes. The reader never looks up from their book or expresses any outward discomfort. But at one point, if any, do you inject yourself into the altercation? What do you say?
Yeah, probably a couple minutes in.
So like, we don't know this person. They're not saying it's a friend of ours. They just have these qualities.
I know. I'm saying I would probably, after a bit, because like, if they're right next to me, like I'm getting a piece of that, like thrown my way, even if it's not directed towards me, that's coming my way. It's a crowded subway. You'd say it was crowded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably, I don't know how long it would take. I couldn't tell you. If it was 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. I mean, I'd let it go on for a little bit. But like when he starts accusing him of being a pedophile, I'll be like, dude, lay off. Like, what is your problem? That was unnecessary. That's a line. That's a crossed line right there. Because like the other stuff is like he's just an ass. You know, it's like people deal with that all the time, and the person is like letting it just right off their back. Kudos to them. But like, if it gets to a point where it's like I can't sit by and hear that garbage. It's like I don't want to sit. It's not only ruining his experience of trying to read his book. Why are you making fun of his appearance? That's just odd. But like, you're ruining I'm just trying to sit here, and you're being loud in this guy's face for literally no reason. It have to be that. That's the line right there. I was like, you can make fun of this. I'd just be kind of like looking over it with the other stuff. But it's like when you start accusing him of something like that, I'd be like, all right,
yeah,
that's way too far, dude.
All right, buddy, where's your proof? How do you know he's a pedophile just from looking at him? And he's like, oh, well, did you not see the court case? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it right here in my newspaper.
Oh, wow. He is a pedophile.
Okay. Well, everybody, I guess that's true.
It's a pedophile.
Yeah, all right. And then the guy's just reading his book.
He doesn't care.
It doesn't matter.
Respect. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'd let it go. If it got to violence, I'd watch for a couple minutes and then intervene.
Well, here's the thing. I would, if it came to him threatening people, I would get other people on the subway. I would try to like get other passengers and try to get them involved. I was like, do you hear all this crap? I would try to get like other people if it's a crowded train.
No, yeah, I agree. The pedophile part is where
it's just like what? It just crosses a huge line right there.
Don't appreciate that. And,
no, that's not okay. I mean, none of the other stuff was okay either, but like that's definitely what an amazing extreme escalation.
Yeah, hopefully you have enough people there that could do something because he's threatening violence once you reach the destination.
The destination, yeah, and it's like, okay, well, a crowded train isn't gonna stand for isn't going to stand for that, really.
You would hope. I've heard a lot of things go down on subways, though. Not great.
I've had.
Have you seen Joker?
I've had nothing but the only remarkable subway experiences I've had have all been amusing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never come across anything like that. One I remember was my first time in Boston. Said a bunch of drunk guys on the subway. One guy was talking about, oh man, he threw up. It was all over his shoes.
Yeah.
It was like, what'd you have to eat? Sausage. and that I remember that cracked everyone. This subway car was crowded, and that cracked literally everyone up. There was another time where I had a friend in college that was cosplaying as Alphonse Elric, speaking of Fullmetal Alchemist, and he had like cardboard armor. And one guy, a drunk guy, got on the train and was calling him Statue of Liberty Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's the torch? What are you talking about? But I mean, you couldn't argue because that's just too funny. Mm-hmm. Hey, Statue of Liberty Man! Hey! And I still laugh about that because that's just too funny. That was 9 years ago now. It's wild. But...
See, I don't like going on the subway, but no, I've heard a lot of stories of bad things happening on subways. So it's like things tend to just,
from my limited experience in New York subway is a different breed than Boston. I'll tell you that. Lot more, and this is just from being on the subway like maybe 2 times I've been in the city. 100% more like drugged up people on the subway. 100%. Like I guess it would be 200% because that happened both times I went into New York. Yeah, it wasn't happy, I guess, because it was like you felt really bad for these people. So yeah.
I just say, what do we say? Also,
what do we say? Lay off,
bro.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what are you reading? You're probably reading Twilight. And look at your ugly face. I'm like, well.
Yeah, at that point, it's just like, all right, yeah.
Fair enough.
Got him. Got me. Yep, I'm reading Twilight.
I'm going to kill you. It's like, God, I've heard that so many times this week.
No, I've heard that. Yeah, wow.
That's the third time this week, sir.
I had a coworker say that.
Now, you look an awful lot like this hot celebrity, I got to tell you. My realities are blending together. All right. Hypothetical person.
Okay.
This person is someone you have nothing in common with. They're the polar opposite of you in every meaningful way. They also have an annoying voice and an overbearing personality.
I hate them.
That sucks, dude. They really go for the extremes on these sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, this exactly resembles you, or no, it's the total opposite.
Or nothing, yeah.
They also have an annoying voice and overbearing personality.
Yeah, I love the annoying voice. That's like, I hate them.
They should have said a stupid face, too.
Yeah.
A stupid face. Okay. They have nothing in common with.
A big, dumb, ugly face.
You were seated next to this person on a commercial flight to Colorado. See, we're always in these weird places.
We just moved from subway car. Now we're in the air. Going to Colorado. I like how it's specifically Colorado too.
Mm-hmm. It's going to come into play in a big way, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me and you, that's going to make that we generally know it's probably be like a 3-4 hour flight, probably maybe a little longer. For
2 hours, they conduct. Yeah, imagine if this didn't work out math-wise. It's like Colorado's like right next door. Hours. It's like Colorado's right. You're in Colorado, and then somehow you're flying to Colorado for 2 hours.
Well, you probably, if that case, you'd probably been off visiting somewhere.
2 hours, they conduct a one-sided conversation, regaling you nonstop with boring stories about their own brilliance.
God.
Suddenly, the left engine falls off the plane, and the other spontaneously fails. The plane begins to nosedive. Most passengers start screaming and panicking, but your seatmate remains inexplicably calm and composed. They grab your hand, tell you their name, and say the following. I live in Denver. My name is in the phone book. If I die and you survive, you must call my spouse and tell them that all the money is in a briefcase at the YMCA next to our house. In locker number 123. The combination to the locker is 123. They repeat this information twice so you will remember it. The plane crashes into a field outside Denver. They die on impact, but you miraculously survive without a scratch. What do you do with the information they gave you? Well,
yeah, I do what they ask. Yeah,
it can't be that annoying, right?
yeah. It's like yeah, they're annoying, but I'm not like
them,
I'm
they're
not
super dead now. They're
I'm
annoying.
not I'm not a dick though. I'm not gonna go steal their money or
it's like
that.
it's like they're pretty repulsive, so you want to maybe just take it for yourself.
Take their money. Yeah, but it's like the spouse obviously knows the money is probably somewhere. I mean, I guess maybe they don't technically know where it is because that's why he's telling he or she. Well, it's he because they match your gender. Yeah. I do what they ask.
They're the polar opposite of you in every meaningful way. So maybe it's not. Maybe they're a woman then.
Well, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but
we have nothing in common with them. Well, we have something in common. We're on a commercial flight to Colorado. I mean, you gotta really get down to these conversations before you say you have nothing in common with people. You're going on a flight to Colorado.
So they're also wow, yeah. There's a lot there. If they're the polar opposite, there's a lot to dig into.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot.
He's probably an actual pedophile then. He's a murderer because I'm not.
He's a murderer. He's a non-monog. He's in a non-monogamous relationship where he doesn't tell his spouse about the affairs that he's had.
He's rich.
He's rich.
He's rich, so he doesn't need this money. Therefore, I steal the money. His spouse is well off.
I mean, you don't know that.
That's crazy. They're polar opposite in every meaningful way. So.
Okay,
I don't know what the polar opposite of.
They worship Satan. Oh no, I guess they've just been. Yeah, no, they probably would that be the polar opposite of Christianity? Me. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, I guess you're gonna have to come to blows. You're not the polar opposite of me in every meaningful way.
We have nothing in common with this person either. So yeah, now that I think of it, I'll go there and take the money myself.
Now that I think about it, no.
This person sounds like an actual horrible person. They're a murderer.
Yeah, they're a murderer.
I have to assume that.
They're a murderer that's outgoing and loves everyone.
And if you don't tell my spouse, I'll kill you. All right?
How would that be even possible?
I know, it's wild.
Yeah, because then, like, what would the money be used for? If they're the polar opposite of me, they wouldn't donate the money to charitable causes or use the money for good.
Do you donate to charity all the time?
I don't donate to charity.
Donate to charity? They're donating all the time then.
So maybe like some of the time I do, and they do it just the opposite more of the time. So I guess they do, but they might not be. But they wouldn't be charities that I appreciate or adhere to or hold to, because they're the polar opposite of me. So
F him and his wife.
Yeah. So they might be charities, quote unquote, that I don't agree with.
She deserves
or stand for. Yeah. So I don't know. This is now that we're kind of breaking into it. This almost feels like.
But that's still, not us. That's not me.
But still the money doesn't belong to me. It does belong to them.
But they've been oppressing us for how long? This person, because
2 hours. That's it.
Yeah, but in a grander scale,
in a cosmic sense,
this kind of person has been oppressing us for so long. The polar opposite of us. They've always been putting us down. We're the nerds. They're the bullies. I'm over it. He's got a wife.
Getting over it with Bennett Foddy.
This guy's got a wife. I don't. I'm over it. Right? So locker 1, 2, 3, combination 1, 2, 3. Got it.
So are you actually changing your answer to that?
Yeah, this guy's awful. He killed kids.
Hey, well. Yeah, so it does stand to reason if there are moral implications raised with what he's claiming. It's so hard to separate myself because I do believe in like fundamentally in like individual rights,
right,
and stuff like that, yeah. and which I guess he would not believe in. He would believe we should have slaves.
He feels every man for themselves.
We should all have. In fact, the Civil War should never have happened. The slaves shouldn't have been freed. We should still have
extreme opinions and everything.
He's
this guy sucks. He's a Nazi for sure.
Yeah.
So at that point, Are you morally in the wrong? I think you're more morally in the wrong if you do give the spouse the money, right? You gonna give a Nazi's wife money? I wouldn't.
I mean, I'd contact the wife because it almost sounds to me like the wife might be. Well, hold on. Now, it would sound to me that the wife may be the victim of an abusive relationship here, in which case, maybe she deserves the money. So I would contact the wife
and first ask her what she thinks about Jews.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
Try to figure out some things about their relationship. It maybe see her reaction, like, "Oh, thank God he's dead," or it'd be like,
she's like, "No, he was the one true prince."
Yeah, and then there,
he was the one who was promised. Oh.
Maybe I would just hold on to the information for a little while and see if anyone finds it besides me.
I would put it on an online. I'll put it online through a bunch of hints, Ready Player One style.
Reclaiming. But yeah, I mean, like at that point, it's like reclaiming something that could be used to better
my life,
humanity. Well, yeah. Well, or just humanity more so than that person. Right. So, and my life, yeah, it would benefit my life.
So
certainly,
you might think it's morally ambiguous to take this person's money that's really not mine, but no, I'm the one who's in the right because there's an awful person, and so is their wife.
But isn't that just claiming that aren't you essentially claiming the spot of God there then?
Yeah.
In this, I guess in this scenario,
no,
it's the freedom's up to, I don't know, because then that to me the moral quandary would be, is it more moral to uphold this person's individuality and personhood? They're dead, so what's it going to benefit them now?
Well, that is the moral quandary because it's just whether you're actually principled enough to where you won't steal someone's money under any circumstances, even if they're an awful person who's dead and deserved it.
I don't know if I am principled enough to do that. Because just because of like if they were still alive, if I contact this, that's why to me the conversation with the wife means everything, because it's like if she's all for everything that he was into, then I would probably hold on to the information and probably I feel like I would feel bad if I just completely profited off of it.
Yeah, and would it
I would probably have to just like donate it, just like donate it out, just get rid of it to wash my hands of it.
Now, how would it make you feel if his wife looked like Elizabeth Olsen?
I'd be talking to her on the phone. I wouldn't know that.
She's like, can you do
see, here's a picture of my beautiful wife.
Can you do Zoom? Yeah,
here's a picture of my beautiful wife. See. Here we are in the Temple of Satan. See? We're getting married.
See? Yeah, I mean, at that point,
so
something
ridiculous.
To think about. If she looks like Elizabeth Olsen,
I don't know. It could be maybe she could be my wife now.
Somehow that's wild how the world works, but she could be the one.
Yeah.
I know your husband was destined to die in that crash just so we can meet. Yes.
That legitimately sounds like a plot of a romance novel. So.
Okay, we got 2 more left.
Okay. That last one ended up because twists and turns towards it when we actually got thinking about it. I
think we did kind of. I think he wasn't intending it to be that extreme to where they're that deplorable, but I'd like to think of it that way.
Yeah, that's kind of where we went with it.
Hypothetical person. This person is tall, thin, hairless, and middle-aged. They are of unclear ethnicity and wear a monochromatic jumpsuit. Okay, that's awesome. Okay,
that's an interesting choice of clothing.
Ethnicity. Why do they have to be unclear ethnicity?
Unclear
they were
ethnicity?
Like, so all the racists can play this game too.
Yeah, I
and
guess.
Not be partial.
Yeah.
You are alone in a public park, relaxing on a bench. This person approaches you. They somehow know your first name. They tell you that they have traveled through time from the distant future and that you should dedicate your life to mathematics because the work you will eventually do will positively change the future of humankind. This person tells you that you do not need to pursue any level of higher education or find a mathematical mentor. You just need to devote your entire life to thinking about abstract math in order to ultimately save society. You ask this person to prove that they're from the future. They say they can't do that because any information they give you might have a rippling impact that could alter reality. But they do tell you this. Tomorrow, a strange thing will happen to a public official that will serve as proof of my claims. The next day, you learn that the governor of your state was killed and eaten by a bear inside the state capitol. No one knows how the bear got into the building. Is this enough to convince you to devote your life to thinking about math? Yes. What kind of question is this? Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like if he says, did he specifically say like your governor will be mauled by a bear and eaten?
No.
Okay.
He said you will. A strange thing will happen to a public official that will serve as proof of my claims.
I mean, that's horribly outlandish, considering that I live in a state that has black bears, which are very notably skittish and afraid of human beings.
Mm-hmm. So this is a pretty miraculous thing to call out.
Yeah.
No, I guess the only question is, did he put the bear there? That's the only other option.
That would be my question.
But
I mean, that would be kind of like, that would be my question.
But he did come up and know your name. He did do that.
Yeah.
So
my name's out there in the public.
I'm a very public person, you see.
I'm a very public person, yeah. I mean,
I'm a bit of a celebrity.
We have a big YouTube channel, all right?
Huge following.
We just...
Look, I don't get recognized. I've never been recognized unless I go to a Pentatonics concert. It's not happening. No one's going to come up and say, Zach. And then go on this rant. Like, so they'd have to just be a stalker at that point. Like, to
also,
take
I love
your
the
name
fact
and
that
then do that.
They're a hairless individual in a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Monochromatic jumpsuit.
Okay, so it's really...
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
So it's really like, oh, this is over the top person.
Yeah.
Looking futuristic.
Yeah.
So that's more or less sus. I mean, the fact, this whole public official thing, he called it out correctly. It's just whether you believe he's capable enough of letting a bear loose into the Capitol, so much to the point that he gets eaten by this bear, and then he comes out to the park, gets away with it, and is able to. Well, he does after going to the park.
But here's the thing: by going back in time, haven't you already? I mean, I suppose if you believe in a single timeline, or do you believe in a?
He's saying there is a single timeline. That's why it doesn't really add up, because he did say, I can't prove it to you that I'm from the future, because it could have a ripple effect, right? He said that. He said they can't do that because any information might have a rippling impact. It could alter reality, but yet they tell you this, that tomorrow a strange thing will happen to a public official, and they also tell you that you need to devote your life to mathematics. How does that not have a rippling effect?
I feel like this... Well, I don't...
So this is the rippling effect that is needed to save this world in the future.
But if this was if this was the case, aren't they already... Theoretically, they could be altering... You'd be altering history just by coming here and telling me this.
Yeah. But
or they were destined to will this to happen, so they were destined to come tell you.
Yeah, they're saying that this is what needed to happen. They need to get you to devote your life to mathematics. But...
Regardless, I do kind of suspect that they have to maybe. This person does seem very weird and on edge and maybe like insane. So maybe they have a bear. Maybe they're Tiger Kinging it with bears, they just got bears, just tons of bears in their purview.
I think this is an easy one. To devote your life to mathematics, you don't have to get on it right away. You give it a couple days to figure out more about this whole bear murder situation.
Yeah.
See if anything comes out about how the bear got there. More details that could connect this man to that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too much of a skeptic to just buy right into that.
But if this guy isn't from the future, I think it won't be long before this guy's caught, right? He's got this obnoxious suit on, and he's letting bears in the Capitol. What if they just disappear?
What if they just completely disappear and go off the grid?
Future.
Well,
confirmed.
You have to, maybe you would get a description of this person and like send it in the authorities, and then
super obnoxious jumpsuit, hairless. I don't even know what ethnicity he could be. It was all a blur.
He could be
very unclear.
I'm trying to remember that quote from the Coach Hines skit. I don't care if you're Asian, Malaysian, or Caucasian. You need to get out there and play. What was it? Crap. Because it was in it was supposed to be like it was Coach Hines doing the production of Oliver. So it was like you got to be Oliver Twist.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I think the unclear ethnicity is literally so racist people can play this game because so you don't make assumptions about them based on their race.
It's like, oh, he might. It sounds to me like he's
up to no good. He's up to no good. That one.
He's up to no good. He's
can't trust him.
You can't trust those Indians.
So, I mean, give it a couple of days. If nothing connects us and this person's never seen, and nothing connects them to this bear crime, then I'm dedicating my life to math, straight up.
Yeah. If nothing can be found about it, if they just are like, yep, apparently there was a bear. We sure don't know how it happened.
I'll devote my life to thinking about math. That's pretty baller. Just to spontaneously change your whole life path.
Apparently, and you'll probably change the world too. Apparently, according to this.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah. Changing the world. Yeah.
Now, what if this guy in the suit looked just like Elizabeth? Yeah.
Nah.
One more. Here we go.
All right, here it is. The final.
Specific person. This person is a deceased celebrity. They can be any kind of celebrity, but they must be dead. Got it.
Okay.
You awake from an unusually vivid dream. In this dream, the imagined person visits you in your bedroom and addresses you directly. They calmly tell you that the circumstances surrounding their death have been incorrectly reported. The celebrity urges you to tell the world that what really happened, which is that they were assassinated by the U.S. government. The dream is not unpleasant or upsetting, it's just a pointed conversation. However, you do not have this dream only once. You start to have it every single night. It is always the last dream you have before waking in the morning. This goes on for 30 days with no sign of stopping. What do you do? What do I do?
Probably consult a psychiatrist or a therapist or something. Figure out why am I still having this dream where Spock is coming and telling me that because my dead celebrity was Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
And all I can imagine is just Spock like sitting like.
Mine was Robin Williams.
United
so this
States
is pretty
government.
wild. This is pretty wild. The U.S. government wanted him assassinated.
Damn. U.S. government's got no chill.
I would make videos on it. That's like my answer to everything. Is I would at least make videos on it.
Just make a video on it.
Talk
I mean,
about
I would have to
every day. I would chronicle this. Like I had the dream again.
I would have to. I mean, I'd have to like fixate to a point. You know, I when something like patterns like that happen, I would have to like really fixate on like, are there any differences in the dream at all, or is it literally the same thing? Literally the same thing.
A pointed conversation. Yeah. I've been assassinated. I was assassinated by the U.S. government.
The U.S. government. I didn't die I think he died to lung cancer. So, yeah, that would be weird.
This would be a wild.
Sounds like a long
Williams death.
Sounds like a long observation. A long observation. It's a long. The long con, I guess they played there. They somehow were involved in his assassination because again he succumbed to cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was like, well, he was assassinated, so it's like they gave him super cancer or something like that.
They aggravated his cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Robin Williams.
It could have been for sure that.
Yeah.
There was already weird stuff with the coverage of his death,
where
there was like details that weren't super clear, and there's some stuff after the fact that came out. And it's like, oh, maybe this had to do with it, but ultimately suicide. So that's the kind of death that could be a cover up for sure. But
Jeffrey Epstein.
I mean, it doesn't make sense that the U.S. government wants them assassinated. They're just killing people. It's fine. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, be like, hey, your comedy genius is too much for us. We can't handle it.
Too much.
It's too much.
It's for 30 days in a row. You have this dream. It's pretty.
Yeah, that's a distinct period. That's a whole month of the same dream.
Yeah. I've been telling everybody about it. For sure.
Yeah, after the first week, I would be like, it sounds like it'd become like a nightmare, you know, like you're just having that repeatedly. Why am I having this dream? Why?
Mm-hmm. All right, well that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more
in the bag.
There's only 20 left, and then we have to wait like another 2 years for more hypothetical questions, maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to see. This is a great fun. There were some really bizarre ones this time. This really went off the deep end in a couple of cases.
Yeah.
But they're still fun. I'm still enjoying these quite a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's some weird ones in there every now and then, but it's interesting how the different person really changes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. The discussion changes a lot when you have a even if it's just an imagined person, it still changes the whole dynamic of everything. So.
Yeah, you could go. There's some replay value with this. You could go through them again with different people.
Yeah, or even at a different period of time in your life. You know, it's like because the prompts are like pick a person that's like this, and it's like you could pick someone completely different the next time around.
And a lot of them pinpoint like where you're at in life right now. It's like a reflection of where you're at right now, or like where will you be in 5 years? The version of you from the future. So there's a lot to consider. All right, so thank you for watching. What videos should our viewers watch after watching this one?
Go check out, I'm trying to think if there's anything we've talked about. Star Trek or
Elizabeth Olsen, Robin Williams.
Go check out our WandaVision review. WandaVision season 1. Season 1 WandaVision review. Maybe season 1, maybe the series.
It is the
we
series,
don't know yet.
For sure.
It's gonna be the
series finale.
But only if you've watched it. You know, spoilers ahead.
Yeah, go watch all WandaVision and then watch it.
And then go watch that review. Yeah, check it out.
And then it really gives you a lot of hypothetical scenarios where Elizabeth Olsen's involved.
It's just
it's crazy.
Where she causes an accident.
Yeah, could you look at Elizabeth Olsen in her big beautiful eyes and tell her no?
Yes.
Okay, good.
As much as I hate to admit it.
Good. Very good. We've made some progress here in society. All right, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. No simping. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. And follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Tarqaron TWO. All right.